What's up everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Before I get started with this demonstration video, I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button, give it a big kiss, give that like button a big hug, and make sure you ring that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload new videos. I'm going to be demonstrating how to perform your opening and closing procedures. And basically, your opening and closing procedures mimic each other. Why is it so important to perform your opening and closing procedures? Well, because they incorporate the 5 indirect care skills: infection control, communication, safety, dignity, and privacy. Helpful tip. The first thing that I want to do before I perform the opening and closing procedures is to give you a very helpful tip that will help you during your testing. Some NAEs will actually show you around the testing room, while other NAEs will ask you, would you like to look around, look at the supplies, test out any equipment. Even if you think that you do not need to, I highly suggest that you do. Why? Because this is your time to actually scope out the setup of the testing area, right? And that way you can in your head, start making a blueprint of the paths that you're going to take, okay? When it comes to addressing the resident and introducing yourself, or disposing of soiled linen, or disposing of your trash. Which way do I need to walk, to get to the supply table or the designated dirty area? Where's the sink? Okay, where's the privacy curtain located? So you want to scope out all of that, okay? And the reason it's critical is because that is going to save you on time, okay? It's going to save you on time. So this is what I would do if I were you. Okay, you scope everything out. If you can see here, the majority of the equipment that I need is for the mannequin bed is on the right side of the bed. I don't know if you're able to see the live bed over here. I'm going to walk over here. But everything that I need for the live person bed is to the left of the live person bed, right? So this setup, the way I have it set up for my class is just smooth, okay? They can transition from live bed to mannequin bed, from mannequin bed back to live bed, really easy. Okay, if your training program has their own testing site, get your instructor in there so your instructor can set it up for y'all, okay? To make it, more convenient and easy for you. So, what I would do is when I perform my opening procedures and my closing procedures, wherever I have the majority of the equipment, that is where I would station myself. Even during, while I'm performing, I'd make sure I'm right here. Reason being is because I'm not going to keep walking from one side of the bed to the other just to get to supplies, okay? So everything I have is right here. On the right side of the mannequin bed, and for the live person bed is on the left side. Okay, so that's why it's really, really important that when the NAE gives you the opportunity to walk around, to walk around the testing area and to, check out the supplies, test out the equipment, do so, okay? And that's going to actually help ease some of your nervousness. I cannot tell you not to be nervous. Being nervous is a normal human emotion or feeling, but I can try to tell you ways on how you can ease or relieve some of your nervousness, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the opening procedures. Remember, you always want to keep those 5 indirect care skills: infection control, safety, communication, dignity, and privacy to the forefront of your mind, because you are not only getting evaluated on your actual performance of whatever skill you have, but you're also being evaluated on those 5 indirect care skills, okay? And those 5 indirect care skills can either make you or break you, okay? You can perform you can perform 4 out of 5 skills or 5 out of 5 skills satisfactory and still fail the skills exam if you get so many tags for any of the 5 indirect care skills. So that's why they are very, very important. And during training, I stress those 5 indirect care skills to my students, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. I know y'all have been waiting on this. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock on the foot of the bed, and then I will address the person by both name and title and introduce myself by both name and title, and then explain to them what I'm going to do. Hi, Mrs. Jones. My name is Julie. I'm your CNA, and I will be taking your blood pressure and assisting you with other ADLs today, okay? So I've done that. I've addressed the resident, introduced myself, and explained what I was going to do. And if you notice, I threw in my first or my second skill, which is the measurement skill, blood pressure, okay? And then I also threw in, I have other ADLs that I'm going to be assisting you with also, okay? That way, that will lead me to, in the previous video that I uploaded, that will lead me to go ahead and get set up for that third skill, which is going to be my first bedside skill. But today we're only doing the opening procedures, okay? So once I do that, that's when I will go ahead and do a brief safety check. Ms. Jones, I'm going to do a brief safety check. I just want to make sure the bed is in a low safe position, the bed wheels are locked, and here is your call signal. And if you notice, I'm putting the call signal in the mannequin's left arm. Why? Because I know that my next skill that I have to perform, or let's say this is the live person, I'm sorry. Let's say this is a live person, put that call light in their person's right hand, because I'm going to be taking the blood pressure in their left arm. Or in case of the live person, I would actually put the blood pressure or the call signal in the person's right hand. Since I know everything that I need is on the left side of the bed, then I will go ahead and place the blood pressure cuff on the left arm. Okay, so I hope that's making sense to you all. Okay, so I've done that. I've done my brief safety check. Now privacy. Okay. So, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to go ahead and provide you with privacy, okay? So we got, for the indirect care skills, we got dignity, we smashed out privacy, we've also smashed out safety and communication, right? And now we're going to smash out infection control. Mrs. Jones, I am going to go wash my hands. Infection control, wash my hands, gather my supplies, and I'll be right back, okay? And now this is when you would actually go and wash your hands with running water and soap, okay, to perform the skill hand hygiene. And once you do that, because you've already explained to Mrs. Jones what you're going to do as far as the blood pressure, you can go ahead and once you say skill complete after you complete hand hygiene, go ahead and collect your supplies for blood pressure. You'll come back, and depending on what the NAE wants you to do, some NAEs will tell you, I only need to see you or observe you address the resident once before, your first bedside skill, or, I need to observe you performing, or I need to observe you addressing the resident before each skill. So you have to pay really close attention to the instructions that they give to you, okay? So it's better for you to train doing your opening procedures before each individual skill, because that way it'll be easier for you to transition from doing it before each individual skill to just doing it once, vice you only training on doing it, one time, and then the NAE during testing wants you to do it before each individual skill, okay? I'm just saying, all right? So now that we did that, what I'm going to do is go ahead and close everything up. I'm going to do the opening and closing procedures. Again, your opening and closing procedures should mimic each other, okay? Because you're trying to incorporate and ensure that those 5 indirect care skills are that you're doing, okay? Good morning, Mrs. Jones. My name is Julie. I'm your CNA. Today I'll be taking your blood pressure and assisting you with other ADLs. But before I do that, I'm going to do a brief safety check. I just want to make sure your bed is in a low safe position. Bed wheels are locked. You have your call light here in your hand. I'm going to provide you with privacy. Now I'm going to wash my hands, gather my supplies, and I'll be right back. All right, your opening procedures, easy peasy, right? Now, your closing procedures, let's say I've taken Mrs. Jones's blood pressure, and by the way, blood pressure is performed on a live person, okay? In this video, all I have with me right now is the mannequin. I don't have anybody else here in the room with me, all right? But it's performed on a live person, and as a matter of fact, there are only 3 skills performed on the mannequin. That is perineal or peri-care, catheter care, and knee-high stocking. Those are the only 3 skills performed on the mannequin. All other skills will be performed on a live person. Okay, so I've done my opening procedures. I've actually washed my hands with running water and soap. I stayed at skill complete. I've collected my supplies for blood pressure. I've come over here, and for me, I would explain the procedure again, do the opening procedures, and this time all you have to do is verbalize everything, okay? So let's say I got my blood pressure supplies. Here I am. Okay, Mrs. Jones, this is Julie, your CNA. I'm back with my supplies. Your bed is still in a low safe position. Bed wheels are locked. You still have your call light here. Privacy is maintained. And then you can go on to starting the skill. So once I've completed the skill, I'm going to mimic the opening procedures with my closing procedures. All right, Mrs. Jones, your blood pressure was 140/78. So before I leave, I just want to make sure that your bed is still in a low safe position. Bed wheels are locked. You still have your call light in hand. Privacy is maintained. And then I will go ahead and take my supplies to the designated dirty area. I will verbalize washing my hands and then skill complete. Okay? So opening procedures and closing procedures mimic each other. Your during procedures is going to incorporate all 5 indirect care skills as your opening and closing. So you always want to make sure that you keep those 5 indirect care skills to the forefront of your mind. I hope this video was helpful. I gotta go finish up getting set up for my first class. But hey, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I update or upload a new video, okay? So that's it for today, and I